Yeah, so thank you so much. Next one, please. So yes, let's stay muted. Yeah, well, thank you so much. You've joined our session for a reason. Welcome to TriTech Academy. And I'm going to take you just, about our CEO, talk about how TriTech came about and other things. So TriTech was founded by our CEO, Dr. Adeshola Cole. She's married with 3 kids, and she studied literature in English in LASU. So anyone that's in LASU, she's an alumni of LASU. So great LASUites, and she was born in Acne, and she has Prince 2 accredited, and she's Scrum Master certified. So how did TriTech come about? She used to be a bank manager. Some of us, we work in a place where you're working, it's not, the salary is not salarying, you get frustrated, things are not going, is more of promises, you get tired, you're frustrated. Some basically are just there for the salary, not because they have that zeal or they're enjoying what they're doing. So from there, she was frustrated. She was a bank manager, promises and promises, but like I said, the salary wasn't salarying at all. So she started TriTech in 2017 with 2 candidates. And right now, we can boast of over 5,000 candidates as of last year. We have more joining now. So yes, and she's really been so amazing within the society. Dr. Adeshola Cole, she's received lots of awards, as we can see, a recognition for the tremendous work that she's doing in the society. She won Woman of the Year in 2018. She won Mentor of the Year in 2016, and Recipient of the Year award for Youth Empowerment 2020, Imagine CEO of the Year 2022. So in 2022, we can see there were lots of awards that came in. Imagine CEO of the Year, Woman of the Year, Rotary Recognition Award, 2022, African Achievers Legacy, 100 iconic African awards featured in Forbes in 2023, and Global Excellence Outstanding in Women in Tech in 2023. Next slide, please. And in 2024, we were nominated as a Black Business by Channel 4 and Lloyd. So it's something to be nominated. So that's huge to us in TriTech Academy. So yes, we got that as well. So yes, so please, let's see. Okay, now let's go in. Why choose TriTech Academy? I will be straight. We can see a lot of reasons why you should choose us. And for me, I would say we don't give fibs in TriTech. What we do is we train you. So when you come in, you get trained first. And after training, you get to work on a live project, like practical experience with your team. And this helps you build, team collaboration, how you can work among the team. Then you get support. We give you mentorship as well, but that is when you've got an interview booked. We don't just leave you, we give you that support all through. We focus on you. So, your development matters to us. What you get in TriTech Academy matters to us as well. So we don't leave you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we don't leave you. Thank you. Yeah, so our mentors are great. You get to meet, a lot of people when you join in. So we're exceptional, we're different, and yeah, so you should. So we've gone over that. Thank you. So yeah, so that's why you should join us, and we're just giving you reasons what makes us different from everyone out there. Thank you so much. So next slide, please. And benefits of data analysis. So benefits of data analysis, this will be touched more by the trainer once he joins in, but we know all what data is now, the lot of benefits when it comes to data analysis, which has to do with big data, professionalization in tech companies, enhancing security, mitigating risk and fraud in businesses. So a lot of organizations now, they're embracing data because data is everything. Now, everyone wants to report in data, send me this in data. It's something big and it's really going so wild every single time. So yes, that's why there are lots of it. Well, like I said, more of these will be touched by the trainer once it joins us. Thank you. Next slide, please. Yeah, like I just mentioned now, importance statistics around data analysis. So there's some researches that have been done, and we know, just like I mentioned, big data and the importance of data-driven decisions, which most organizations, industries are embracing now. And the statistics shows when it comes to job growth, the employment of data analysis is projected to grow. So now from 2020 to 2030, it is estimated that the number of data analyst roles will increase significantly. It increases every single time. So, and now they've estimated over 11.5 million now. So at least new jobs that would be flooding in by 2026. So this is why it is the importance of it, and the statistics shows that yes, it would only but keep growing in the world globally. Data is something that is very important for us to embrace. Next slide, please. When we talk about the salary, I know some of us be like, okay, I want to go into data analysis, no prior knowledge, I don't know, but at least I just want to go to it. Yeah, there are different things. We want to go into it without any prior knowledge, but it's once you make up that mind that, okay, do you know what, I want to go for it, there is nothing we can do. It's March now, and when we look at it, January to March, there are some things that we needed to make some decisions on, and oh no, I need to decide what I want to do. There's some hard, difficult decisions that we needed to do in some situations, and now it is time for you to make those decisions. Now, looking at the statistics now for the salary, we can see over 65,000 pounds. We can see we can see $107,000 US. We can see 113 Canadian dollars. And now for starters, the entry level, they're breaking, everything is there, 45,000, 65. So the more you go into it, you get upskilled, you just go in data, and that's the more you go into it, that is how the salary increases. And this is statistics when it comes to salary. There are more, and this is not just because what we're showing now, this is how it is. Sometimes you'll be surprised based on your knowledge when you go for interviews, when they see what you can bring in, what how you can add values to the organization. They see you know what you're talking about. They see you know what you're doing. So that's your starter could even be more than this. So we're just giving you basics like, okay, this is what the starters should look like. Next slide, please. Yes, so we had someone that was to come in for success story. Success story. Next, the previous slide, please. So we have a lot of candidates that have joined us, and what's it called? They achieved their success stories. We have someone that was to join in, but due to something that happened, it couldn't make it. So we have lots of success stories. Yeah, if you have time, you can check up on Instagram, TriTech Academy Limited, and you just go on search, and you will see a lot of people that have achieved so many things from TriTech in different aspects of what they've joined. And yes, you have received, okay, Justina, all right, okay. So, okay, don't worry, the screen will be shared so you can see what's going on once the trainer joining, okay. So yes, let's talk about what we hear, you will hear from the Aussie's mouth, like they say. I've tried to tell you what, my own bits of it, but it's time for us now to meet the data trainer himself in person of Mr. Aziz Busari. He's had over 15 years experience as a data analyst, as a data engineer. He's very good at what he does. We call him King of Data, and he's exceptional. He's a mentor. He does everything incredibly, and he will be training you this afternoon on what you should be expecting. Just give you like a taste of what you will get when you join TriTech Academy. So join me to welcome Mr. Aziz Busari. Good afternoon,
Hello.
Mr. Aziz.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, please? Hello? Yes, you can hear me. Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Nice to be here for a very strange reason. And like they say, it's the day you need technology is the day that it fails you. I'm not able to share to start my video. But I mean, I'm not that pretty like Madijoke, so it doesn't really matter. Today we just go straight to why we are here. So admin, if you don't mind, let me share my screen. Good, good. And if it's something you can sort from your end, I think it's an admin thing.
Yeah, it's been sorted now. We can see you and you can share your screen.
Super, super, super. Thank you. That's good. All right. Can you please confirm you can see my screen now? Space settings. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aziz, and I would be talking about the interesting world of data in the next 1 hour. And I hope not to take most of your time because I'm aware some of you are actually in the middle of work. Some of you are trying to juggle family life, and but this is an important aspect where we would like to talk you through the interesting world of data. I won't spend so much time talking about why data. Why data is the best thing after sliced bread. We thought to do some things differently today by sharing data sets and whatever it is that I'm trying to do, would want to check with you if you can do the same thing while I do it. So just want to check before we go straight at it. Wait, how many of you actually were able to download the tool and then get the data sets? In the chat, please, let me see. Should you be still downloading it, my end? Okay. I did. Okay. I mean, not to worry. This you managed to fantastic. Thank you, guys. I mean, not to worry. Like I said, it is a tester session. It hasn't come through for me. Unfortunately, it won't work for me. Marcos, why is that? Can you please speak? Not yet, unfortunately. I mean, I have the good news and the bad news. The good news is you probably will not be able to do the good news is you would be able to see the things and how easy it is for me to do. And I will try my best to make it easy in such a way that even after the class, you can try your hands when you have the ability to download it and then you can test it. But the bad news is 1 hour is not always enough. You probably will need more time to do many more of this. This is a tester session, and then I'll get Adejoke to tell you what you need to do to join us. Right. Going straight at it, I won't spend so much time here, but it's very important to tell you some of the interesting things, why we stand differently from every other person that you've probably spoken to in the course of you trying to switch careers or jumpstart your career in data analytics. My name is Aziz. I've said it 5 million times. Background is data analysis. I like to call myself a data generalist, and I'll explain to you why. About 15 years ago, I started back in Africa, Lagos specifically, building interesting data platforms. So for some of us who have background either living or still have family in Nigeria, all of the top tier banks like Guaranty Trust Bank, Zenith Bank, First Bank, I'm happy, I mean, very happy and loyal to mention that I built the data platform for all of these top tier banks many, many years ago. In fact, most recently, when they did the merger about 5-6 years ago, I mean, Access Bank and Diamond Bank, I led the team that did the merger and merging the two data sets together. Not just from the banking sector, I built data warehousing for MTN Nigeria, MTN Cameroon, and many more others in Bank in Africa. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working very closely with big banks here in the UK as well. You know me from Access Bank merger, fantastic. At least I do not know. I mean, this is not a sales matter. I'm glad to see. I go into very big conferences and I try to mention myself, and they say, "Oh, we know you." Nice to meet you, Solami. So, I mean, these are the things that we try to say, that we are not just, the way we have lecturers from universities when they say, this is how you do things. No, we are, number one, born trainers. We like to do this that we are doing. And then number two, we have the practical knowledge. So we bring the proven methodology, doing this day in, day out. I'm still actively doing this. So imagine coming into the class and saying, I had this problem last week. doing something for Amazon UK, and then I can tell you this is how they do it. I mean, there's something between skilling and training. So we go beyond training. Training is just telling you this is how we do it. We do skilling here, whereby we give you the things that you need to do to achieve what you do at work. Right. Great. That is as is in summary. And then in terms of the things that you will get to do today, I will just introduce you to the world of data analytics. Right. What is data analytics? I'm sure a lot of you will be seeing analytics, ICS, and then you see analysis, the one with the IS. So what is the difference between analysis, IS, and the one with the ICS? And then we go into the stages of data analysis. I'll explain all of this to you. And the course content. I mean, what does this end-to-end training entail? What do we do day 1, day 2, week 3, week 4? How is the time schedule? We go into demo. Demo is probably the thing that you probably do not want to miss today. Again, this is where we go into that data and then we crunch it. We do some roadmap, like what do I need to do from day 1 to the end of this training? And then we go into road to success. What do I need to do to be successful in this training? Some basic requirements. A lot of you would have a lot of questions, but doing this for over 3-4 years now, we have common questions that a lot of you would ask. So we put that together as an FAQ, and then we show you a glimpse of timetable. This time around, there's a bit of caveat, and I'll explain when I get there. And then we do YTriTech. So the YTriTech page is just a summary of everything that I mentioned. And very interestingly, I've put together like a very short survey. I think it's about 5, 6, 7 questions that would help us verify if you understand anything that we've done today. Make sense? Now, the rights, we go straight at it. Again, like I said, I really like the action, which is, I would love us to go straight to the action, but there's always a prerequisite. There's always that pillar that you need to understand before you start to do the interesting work. So what is data analytics? Again, let me come from the non-technical side before I go to the technical side. Apologies, I've got a bit of cold. If you see me just sneeze and cough randomly. Now, I want to talk about data analytics, the one with the I, the C, and the S. I mean, ending with IC and S. You know, like I said, analytics and analysis. We have analytics and then we have analysis. So there's this general website, a platform called Investopedia, just like Wikipedia, just like Google, that just gives meanings to different things. I define data analytics to be the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. A lot of grammar, a lot of depressing English mixed together, but it's saying it's that process that helps you to analyze raw data to make conclusions about the data. But let's leave technology aside. Let me bring it to the things that we are most likely used to. I'm sure even if you are not African, you must have heard about the jollof war on Twitter or any social media that you've been to. Ghanaian jollof, even the big originator of the interesting meal, which is I think Senegalese or so. I don't know. Right now, people they say it's from this, you know, the best jollof that this. I'm sure you must have heard about those things. So let me use jollof rice to explain to you. I'm not the best cook, but I know that there's no way, when it's not that you want to make fried rice, you can't put oil first and then you pour the rice. If you want to make jollof rice, you don't fry it. So there's a process to it. So the process where you gather the vegetable oil or the olive oil, whatever oil that you want to use, you put cooking butter if you want to use that, the bell peppers, the scotch bonnet, the whatnot, the process of you gathering it, and then even if you want to add some proteins to it and then some seasoning, that's a process. There's another process that now tells you that you probably put the pepper before you put the salt, or you do this before you do that. There's another step to it. And the step of you then seeing if the water level is enough or not, and then it's ready for you to consume. There's a process to it. I'm not saying that is data analysis, but that process that you go from gathering those raw ingredients to knowing that when you put this, oh, pepper will go for the salt level is not okay, let me add more. And for you to say now, okay, it's not enough for us to consume, is exactly that process of analyzing data. So in the world of data, the raw data are the ingredients that we do have. The ability to then analyze it and put it that rice will go before this and butter will go this or this will go before this is the process where you then use your conscience to say, oh, this is, I mean, not conscience, the ability to even problem solve, and then gathering this and make it something that is eatable, something that is edible rather for the consumption of every other person. So that's it. Another example that is non-technical is, when we have little kids, when we were very little rather, even till now with our children, when we just dump them. Imagine that you dump them into a room of multiple colorful blocks. Blocks could be those red balls, yellow balls, blue balls, very colorful. Big box, big room of that. And then you want to give them a task to tell me how many blue balls or blue blocks do we have there? How many red blocks do we have there? How many yellow blocks do we have there? The best way to do it, or definitely even as children or kids to do it, would be you sort the red together in a different sack or even layer them at a certain part. You sort the yellow, you sort the white, and you sort whatever. That's because if you try to look for the white and then you go around, you do this, you are not analyzing. So that process of gathering that raw data to then get into a meaningful information is data analysis. Now, let's bring it to the technology. Again, you might probably see the way we teach. I would ask you if you understand and know, because this is Taysta. We have limited time. We have 6 or 7 hours per day to run this training, but I just have 1 hour based on the time that Adejoke and the team has given to me. So now let me explain to you. The analytics and the analysis, what's the difference? I would typical analytics or project I had done before to explain to you. Or let's start with the general one that you can even find online. So it will not look like as if it's making a marketing sales. You can check this one out online. Many, many years ago, a retail store in America tried to do a project that they tagged getting to know our customers, right? So just imagine if you're in Africa, if I'm in Africa, I'm talking about the likes of ShopRite, who has physical stores and all. If you're in the UK, I'm talking about the Tesco, the Sainsbury's, the Lidl, the Aldi, and whatnot. And then they feel they have multiple shops and they want to have an analysis or a project that gives them what their customers are buying, gives them insight of who the customers are, right? And thank you, brick and mortar, makes sense. And they've hired people like us, myself and everyone on the call, because today everyone is a data analyst, to help them to do the project. At the end of the day, I won't go through the process of what the data analyst or the consultant or the data engineers had done, but I will go straight to the point. What they came up with, the analysis, the summary of the analysis that they came up with says they have top 10 products that a lot of people buy the most. When they presented their case, they said, we've seen that people buy alcoholic drinks, people buy phones, people come in to buy water, people come into but these are the top 10, right? But there was an insight that they gave to the owner of the business. What was the insight? They said in the top 5, they've seen product A, product B, product C, product D. However, there's this particular product that they've seen that people buy together. There's a correlation within this product. And what were the products? Diapers for babies and alcoholic drink. So that was the first big insight that they got out of the project, which says a lot of people come in, and when they come in, they pick diapers together with alcoholic drink. I'm sure most of you will be wondering, what is the correlation between, not that babies can take alcoholic drinks. Now, they dug further and they said the people actually buying them were married men, not even women. Sometimes you would see some outliers where women would buy. Men would buy it. And the shock of the analysis was that the diapers were on the first floor and the alcoholic drink as far as the fourth floor. So even if you're going to use the stairs or you use the lift, they would look for the alcoholic drink to say, maybe the men on their way back home, the wife would say, please get this, we've run out of diapers. We'd be like, oh, the stress is too much, I need to grab a bottle of drink. And then they go all the way to get it. At the end of the day, the analysts, like myself and yourself, recommended to the organization to bring the alcoholic drink that was on the fourth floor, bring it closer to the first floor so that it is easy for the people who are buying these correlated products together to just pick them from the aisle, or you don't need to go all the way to get it. Of course, they saw any business intelligent organization would make data decisions. They made the decision and then they did that, and now they recorded the highest sales ever 20 years after they started operations. How does this exactly, Peter? How does this relate to what I've been saying? This that I've just explained to you is analytics with the ICS. What does that mean? The ability to go to the raw data, analyze it, make a prediction that if you do this together, you will do it right, and then prescribe to the business is analytics with the ICS. So if you look at the top right here, I said the ability to do what? Let me see if I can do some annotation. This one, talking about this one to the far right, finding trends, uncovering opportunities, predicting what could happen, which is what I've just explained, and then help the organization to make decisions is the broad analytics with the ICS. But like they always say, you cannot predict tomorrow if you don't have the point of what is happening. So if I tell you that you're going to make 500 tomorrow, if I don't even have any experience of what you've made last week, that there's most likely going to be an inaccurate prediction. But the subset of these analytics that allows you to understand the specific processes, how do you do it? In other process that they've done, the initial process that they've done that gives them that correlation is analysis with the IS. The ability to collect those data together, refine it, analyze it, and then deliver insight of what had happened before. It's analysis with the IS. So I'm happy to tell you, there's no analytics, the one with TIS, the blue layer, without analysis. So hence the reason why you start from analysis. Is this clear, please? I think I've tried to explain analysis or analytics or what we even do in the world of data analysis. Thank you. No analytics without analysis. Miriam says perfectly. Very clear. Okay. Very clear. It is clear. Now, this is the time I try to introduce myself to you again, because what we do in the world of technology, not just data, is actually centered around what we call the binary in IT. So binary is just ones and zeros. So I try to, when I ask you a question that has to be yes or no, or do you understand or not, you don't necessarily have to type all the way and waste the energy. So if it is yes, you do 1. If it is no, you do 0. So I understand that you need me to go back. Do you understand what I've just said? Fantastic. Now you guys are data analysis. Sorry, you guys are data analysts. I can see a lot of data analysts. Some people are still saying clear. One makes sense. This makes me happy. Right. Different stages in data analysis. We have what we call the raw data stage. And I've tried to sort of put a picture to just explain to you. Some of these I've already mentioned in previous slides. I have just a few more slides and then we go to the demo, right? We have the raw data stage. What do we have in the raw data stage? We just have items scattered around, right? You can make, so for example, from the stage 1 here, if they tell you how many yellows do we have more yellow than red, you probably still be scrambling and checking things around. And then the next stage is when you try to sort it, right? And this you can play back the jollof rice analysis I've given as well. And then this is where you just put related items together. And then we have the arranged stage. On the arranged stage, you can stack it. And when you arrange it, you can easily make not very clear decision, but at least you can easily tell that green is not the most best item that we do as a business. But it's not still well is not presented visually because the one that is highest is still not, it doesn't follow a sequence of low to high or high to low. But when you start to present it visually, which is step 4, you can see clearly that red and blue is the same, yellow, white, the same, and then green is right. And lastly, when you try to explain it with a story, analyzing this data, crunching it, saying if you do this, going back to what I've said about the correlation of alcoholic drink and this, that's the stage. So if I play this back to the stages that happen, stage 1 to what I'd explained before. Stage 1 is when they try to gather demographic data. Who are the people that come to data? How many of them are married? Are they single, men of this age or whatnot? Gathering transaction data. What did they buy and not? That's what happens in stage 1. And stage 2 is then you sort related data together. Stage 3 is when you now try to arrange it. Which one happened today? Which one happened last month? Which one happened this? And so on. And then stage 4 is when you now start to present it visually to say apples are more purchased than banana. And lastly, that's it. Now, what are we going to do within the course contents? The first 2 days, if you join us by day, I will explain some of these into more details. We will teach you what we call SQL. In the world of data, there is this language that is called structured query language. And I promise you, and this is not me just being cheeky, or I'm not joking here, my grandma can understand SQL. My old grandma can understand SQL. It is the closest language to the English language, and this is the language that data understands the most. And then day 3 and 4, we will do data visualization using what we call Microsoft Power BI. I've seen a lot of you mention it's not compatible with Mac and so on. That is not a problem. So we have 2 solutions to that. Number 1, there is another platform that we could actually use called Tableau. I don't want to go into the details. Or you can there's something called the Parallax. I don't use Mac, but we've done this Parallax desktop where you can just create a version of Windows within your Mac. But again, today, you don't necessarily have to follow through what I'm going to do. So let's leave that for 1 second. But like I said, even for Mac users, we have solutions for you, right? And then the last 2 days, we do Python. Python, again, a lot of you would want to run away from it. Why did we add Python to this stack? I will explain to you. If you pick 10 job descriptions on data analysis, again, we even give you a trick of looking for jobs, because data analysis is not the only job that you see when you're looking, when you want to start to look for jobs. You can even find financial analysts, which is just purely data. So you always have to find a way to understand what is in the job description. But again, when you start to look for the jobs, I'll let you know. So what I'm saying is, if you look for related jobs within data, some of them, about 2 or 3 of those JDs will probably be asking for data and for Python. But the Python they're asking for is not machine learning Python. It's just basic Python for data analysis. That you can use Python to build an app. You can use Python to build different things. That's not the one we are teaching you. We are teaching you basic Python for data analysis. So some of the things you'll be able to do on SQL and Power BI, we want to show you the equivalent of it, which is some of the things I've said to you that you can see on the screen here. Now, are we excited to go into the actual demo? We've done a lot of talking about big values, but you see the reason why that was really important for us before we go into the actual demo. So if there's anything that you want to get out of this, it should be this demo, right? Again, we try to go into more details when we get into the class, but let's maximize this next 30-40 minutes to say, okay, I didn't waste these 2-3 hours of my time today. So at the end of the day, you want to be able to say, yes, I think I can do this. No, I think I can't do this. Now I'm going to share another screen. So for everything that I do, right? For everything that I do, I try to put framework to it. What is a framework? A framework is step by step of how to achieve something. So anytime I want to do anything, data analysis related or not, even my life, living my life, I try to create a framework around it. So what do I mean by this framework? Today, let me give you the business problem. The data set that you have, which is what I would share in a second. In a more would be this guy. Just let me know when you can see the screen. Apologies, I've got 2 more screens in. So that's why if you see me, just look up to the left or the right. I'm actually looking at the screen. Are you able to see the spreadsheets, please? Show of hands in the chat box. Super. All right. This is exactly the same spreadsheet that was sent to you via email or through this chat. So, again, most of the time you don't just get things out of the box. You probably would have gotten what we call the business problem. So I will try to explain the business problem to you. There's no documentation that says this. Just please, let's listen more this time around. There's a time for Q&A. So for a moment, we all, including myself, so in the next 15 minutes, we are data analysts working for TriTech Academy Limited. So for a moment, put yourself into that mental state of, I am a data analyst and I've been charged to do this exercise. What is the task? We've been asked to do an analysis of transactions happening for a pizza company in the United States, right? So in their words, they have data. They don't know what the data is saying, but they want us to help us look at the data and then come up with interesting insights. Like I said, they don't know the insight they can get out, but they know that when customer comes in, they get this type of data and it's just there. So they want us to help them to get an insight of what is happening in their branches, the pizza that the product that they sell, how much they make, the time that they make the most and whatnot, right? But don't let us go into the details. That's the business problem. Is the business problem clear? Good. So now I will now take a step back to tell you the framework that I use. Today, I would give you something that I think you can just keep it handy. I'll put it in the chat. It's called the CRISP DM. By the way, to you, it might look too technical because it is aligned to what we do in data mining. CRISP DM is an industry framework or industry standard. It says cross-industry standard for processing in data mining. That's the full meaning. But what does it say? It says when you do anything data related, you're building a machine learning model, you're doing this, the first stage is for you to first understand the business. And I'll tell you from my experience, many times when I move from bank A to bank B, even if all of them are, you can check it out online. Like I said, it's cross-industry standard processing. C is cross, CR is cross, I is industry, S is standard, and P is processing, and the DM is data mining. But that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So for every time, he has, I think, 7 or 8 stages. The first stage is for every time that you want to do anything, you first need to understand the business. Make sense? You need to understand the business. Even if you are a certified accountant and they want to take you to a financial industry to do something from the bank, you don't know all. You have to please understand the business. And how do you do that? With the help of the business analyst, project manager, business stakeholder, schedule meetings and let them talk you through what they do as a business. Bank A is different from Bank B, even if they use the same, there's something we call FlexCube back in Africa, banking app. You go from one bank A to Bank B using the same banking app, the way they treat their ledgers are different. You need to understand that. So in this case, I am doing the work of the business to understand what they do as a business, which is you come in, you buy pizza. So simple. They do that. That's one. Number 2 is data understanding. You are not a guru. If you know the data, you are the best, you get 10 over 10 in anything, you can't know it more than the IT people storing the data. So in this case, you just go in, where do you store branch related data? Where do you store pizza related data? Where do you do this and not? They have done it. And in this case, they put it together. So let's just imagine that both two pages have been done before now. And that's the reason why we have this. So as is, myself on this call today, I've done the 2 stages for you, which is showing you where the data is stored, which is this CSV. And I've shown you exactly, that's the reason for a pre-engagement meetings. Thank you, Yusuf. You've done that, and this is what you have. These 2 stages are done, and you have the data. The 3rd stage then says understanding the data. Is called the data understanding stage. Once you've done, and this data understanding stage and data preparation stage it takes about more than 50% of the entire stages. You need to go through it one after the other. And how do you do it? This is a very simple example, and I'll just tell you. Sometimes there's something we call data dictionary. In a data literate organization, they will give you a Word English document to explain each of these columns. To say, column 1, that is serial number, is a serial number that does this in our business. Column 2, that is date, is this. So I'll try to explain to you, and then we will not go into details. We'll just go straight to build insight out of this. Right. Serial number is just reference number. So if I were you, I won't spend too much time trying to make sense out of it. Column 2 is date of transaction. So what does this mean? On the 11th of December 2015, this transaction occurred. Clear? Do we understand? I want us to get it field by field. And then column 2, which is branch, is talking about the location where that transaction occurred. The next one, which is pizza sold, is talking about the item, the exact product that was sold. The price is the unit price for each of those products that was sold. So pizza that was sold in California was sold for 2,000 USD. This is a test data, by the way. I'm sure some of you will be thinking, why would they sell pizza for 2,000? Again, like I said, this is a test data. Quantity is the unit. So I'm buying 1 item, and I'm buying 5 of them. So if I buy 1 item at 2,000 Naira, if I'm buying 5 of them, it means that I paid 10,000. Hence the reason why to the far right on the amount, I'm seeing 10,000. So amount is price times quantity. 4 times 5 is 20. 2 times 1 is 2. Clear? And then the time is the exact time of transaction. So what they've done before they gave all this data is they now created a time range to say, did the transaction occur before 9 a.m. or after 9? So if I go all the way down, I should see transaction happen after 9. Can you see 9 past 9, 9:42, blah, blah, blah. Transaction happen after 9. This is data understanding stage done. I mean, do we understand the data now? I understand, but you all need to understand, because that's the only way we can crunch data. A lot of one. Super. Again, don't worry. Even if you are not participating, if you just listen through, you would get it right. So there is a platform that I've sent to you, Power BI Desktop. Please, let's try to launch it. So this is now the time to analyze data. If it's a data science, machine learning, predictive model related project, after you've done that, the next thing you do is what? You build your model, right? So that's the reason why the CRISP-DM is a general thing that you can just use for any data related projects. All right. If you are here, you just click blank reports. Click on blank reports. What does this mean? You want to have a blank page to start to build your report. So again, for some of us who are used to doing things on related Microsoft tools, you would see this platform is not so different from Power BI, PowerPoint, sorry. Excel and Microsoft Word. You know, they have similar panes. They have but this again, I'm not coming to sell Power BI to you. Let's just go straight to the point. We have dedicated almost 15 hours of learning this, and we have loads and loads of more resources that will make you jumpstart your career in data analysis. So I won't spend so much time. Just to check, I just need few people to follow through. And you don't necessarily have to do this because this is a taster. This is not the actual training. But I just want to check, is anyone on this page with me? Same, similar page like this. Nice. Couple people. Fantastic. All right. So to do this, I want to show you one last time. You can see this view from the Power BI. So what we do, the first stage is you import the data from the source. So Power BI has loads and loads of data sources that you can pull from. These two can pull from the website. So for example, if you are a trader on Forex or something, and you have a website of trading numbers and all, you can pull the number in Power BI and crunch it to make informed decision. You can go from databases, you know, it's just endless. HTML code, databases, or more than 100 data sources. But for today, our own data source is Excel. So you'd see this green layer that says import data from Excel, because without the data, we can't do nothing. So you click on import, you look for where your data is, double click on it, and then you should have a page like me. I would give it a moment so that we're on the same page. So you should have a navigator page like me. Thank you. You should have a page like me. Once you do, please just put your ones in the group. Again, like I said, fantastic. It's still loading. That's the reason why I'm giving it some time. So this depends on your RAM and your ROM of your laptops, processing memory of your machine. You didn't receive the email. No worries. Just watch through. Okay, yeah, we will send it again, and then you can do this. Just if you watch through, and then you do it diligently, I promise you'll be able to do it once we're out of here. And of course, when you join us, you'll be able to do more. When you do this, you'll be seeing no items selected for preview. There's this little checkbox here just before the sheet 1. Check it. If you click it, you will then see all of this data. You would see this is the data that we are trying to import. So you have load, you have transform. If you have things to do, maybe you want to remove one thing you do not like, you transform. But today, the data is clean enough for us to do our first analysis in Power BI. What do we do? Just load. So again, I will explain one more time. Check the checkbox here, and then you have a preview, then you load. When you load, give it a moment. It's going to create a connection, and then it's going to load the data. When it loads the data, the interface changes and it tells you that you are ready to build your visuals. So what do we do if the data is unclean? Again, like I said, you do transform data. When you click the transform data, it takes you to another page where you can clean data. It's what we call the Power Queries. At that page, then you can clean it. When you are done, you save it, you come back here. Don't worry, we have more than enough dirty data we will do. We have more than enough dirty data that we will do. Of course, not today, but when you join the session. Anyone here, please? Ayo is here. Email not received either. I'm so sorry, but they've been sending the data here. They've been sending the data here. Admin has sent it many times here. But again, like I said, this is not the actual training. Just please don't be distracted. Just watch through. So to your far right, you would see what we call the sheet 1. Of course, you can rename it to read proper, maybe like Peter data. There's an arrow before it. I got lost on import data from Excel. It's not working on iPhone. No, you can't use it on a phone. Yes, SQL is part of the training. Please let's keep the Q&A. I got lost on import data from Excel. When you click on it, look for the data. There's a checkbox in front of sheet 1. Click on the checkbox and something will pop up, load and transform, then load it. That's it. Once you do that, you have this page that says build visuals with your data. And then you can open up sheet 1. You would see all of the data here. All right. Now, if you look at your far left here, you have 4 different views. I hope you can see my mouse. You have 4 different views. We have the report view, we have the table view, we have the model view, and then everything. So you can do the report view. Sorry, 1 second, please. Apologies for that, please. Domestic issue. So then are we here? I'm checking one more time, please. Is anyone on this page? Got lost on import data. Okay. Apologies, guys. I'm just going to stop sharing and then give at least one person the ability to share. Or maybe let me share again. I think a couple of people got lost at that point. I mean, that's the reason why we are here. So there's no point in rushing if you don't get it. Let me share my screen one more time. For those of you who asked the question, who said no, that you were not able to get this, right? Can you confirm that you have a screen like my screen? Were you able to get to this point? All right. So click on import data from Excel, the one with the green layer here. Click on it. When you click on it, it is going to bring out a folder like this. Look for where you've saved your data. I would believe that you've downloaded the data. I have put it here. Double click on it. And then you have a navigator here. Once you have the navigator, please put one in the chat. If you have a navigator like my own, just put one in the chat box. Lola now has this navigator. Okay. Okay, the 3 of you now. Good. You see this checkbox before sheet 1. Can you see it? Click on it. When you do, you would have something like this. Fantastic. When you now have this, then load. That's it. You would see load pop up here. Click on it, and then you have your data. No worries, no worries. All right. Now I'm checking for the last time before we start to generate insights. Do we have this page? And if you have this page, go to the far right where we have data. You will see your sheet 1. Click on the drop down. You will then see all of the data. So even if you did not have the problem before, I'm checking. I want to see number of people following me. Do we have this page just like mine? Thank you, Z. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, Dio. Tobiloba, thank you, Peter, Lola, Miriam. Fantastic, fantastic. Now we can go on. This we are going to build together. This definitely we are going to build together. I will show you the table view. You don't need to go to the table view. Just wait there. Look at my screen. Or you open your Excel and go to the Excel. As an analyst, who understands the business of Peter now, and who understands the data, what type of insights do you think we can generate? I mean, you don't know which one is doing the most, but What type of insight? Looking at the data that we have, the date of transaction, the branch, the pizza sold, the price, the quantity. Type it in English. What type of insights do you think we can get out of here? I know you are typing, so I'm waiting. Fantastic. Which branch makes the most sales? Time of the day with highest sales, very good. Sales per region, very good. Sales by location, very good. Location that sells the most, fantastic. Someone is going technical, exploring the data, EDA, fantastic. Everything that we want to do, we are exploring the data to see what is happening there. Products that sold the most, very good. I mean, you guys are fantastic. So now let's turn what you've said into what meaningful chat. How do we do that? The first way, the best way to do it, maybe not the simplest way, but the most generic way to do it is you just drag the report here and then you pick the visual that fits. By the way, remember, Aziz always follows framework. The type of charts to use for the type of data you want to do, that's another lesson, but we are not going into the details today. The type of chart to use, you can see under visualization, you have many charts. How do you know if it is line chart you use for this? I will explain to you, and then I'll give you a book or like a frame, like I've said, I've given you Chris DM, I'll give you a framework like a Bible or guide to show you the type of chart to do for different things. But today, high-level conversation. Now, let's start with somebody says transaction by date, right? With that, you just click on date and you click on, or click on this line chart here, pick the date and pick the amount. That's it. Sorry, ignore what I've just said. Ignore what I've just said. Because it might take you long for you to even figure it out. Like I said, you can drag and drop into this pane. So if you come here where we have the sheets, sheet 1 rather, you have all of the columns under that table. I said you should check dates. Anyone on this page, just like my page. Fantastic. When you have this, you can then change. This is showing your dates as year, quarter, month, and day. It's not showing it as date of transaction like 11th of December or 1st of December or 1st of January. So how do we do that? Where we have this drop down, look at my screen before you go do it on your screen. When you have this drop down, the only reason why it's showing this is it's showing it as an hierarchy. We want the actual date. So click on this drop down and put it back to date. It is showing date hierarchy. Just click on date to show this to you. I will do and undo. Right? I took it back to the way it was. But we have one arrow under columns here. Anyone here, once you're able to do it, let me know. Click on the drop down and then what? Pick date. Fantastic. When it shows this, remember the amount is the total revenue. So we want to show total revenue by date. Just click on this. Can you see? You have this. So our data is between the 3rd of December to the 15th of December. However, this is not showing us, it's showing us the insights, but we can't easily tell the story. So this looks like the 3rd stage of the analysis stages I've explained. You can see that it has sorted the data based on date, but it's not telling a story. How do you want it to tell a story? Present it visually. So come here, you will see a line chart. Under visualization, the first column here on the second row, the one that says line chart here, just change it to line charts. It's going to build this. You can then adjust it as you like. Move it around. You can make it beautiful, but that's not why we are here today. I'll show you how to do all of that. Anyone here? So you can easily tell on the 3rd we did well. On the 3rd we started with this figure, we went low, we went high again, we went high, it's not coming down. 11th is our best month, 12th is our this, 15th is our least month, and so on and so forth. That is an insight about transaction by day. I'm going to delete it and try to build it one more time for the people who did not get it. Again, I'll just build 4 and then we'll continue next week. What did I just say? We want to generate insight of transaction by day. If you were to do it without Power BI, you go to Excel, you can do pivot table, whatnot, but I'll show you the difference and everything. You don't have to delete it if your own is fine, but to delete, click on it and match delete on your keyboard. You probably now be going through, oh, day one, saw me together and this. It will be a lot of work, right? But I'm saying click on date. It's going to show you this. It's showing the hierarchy of dates. Hierarchy. By hierarchy, it's saying it's segregating it into the year of the day, the quarter of the day, the month of the date, and the day. That's not what we want. Change it here. Click the arrow, the drop down here, and pick dates. It's going to show you the actual date. Once you do that, select the amount. So it's going to show you in table format, but the table format is analyzing it and sorting it, but it's not telling a story. How does it tell a story? You then use one of these charts. In my case, I'm using the line chart. That's what I have here. Happy? Anyone here now? Got it. Got it. I mean, I'll take questions like why is it different from other two? If you wait, Stennis Engineering, you will see how it is different from the other two. Every other thing I'm going to do, maybe in another 10, 15 minutes, you can't do it any other two. So, it is showing only December because it's only December that we have on the data. It is giggle. In technology or computer world, there's something we call garbage in, garbage out. This is just analyzing the data. It's not adding more. So in the data set, we only have between December 3 to December 15. So if I have 1 year data, it shows 1 year data. I hope that clarifies, Justina. All right. Let me now show you a bit of, especially for the, by the way, happy International Women's Day to all of our beautiful women. You all matter. For all the women in the house who like to do makeup and see things beautifully done and then well arranged, this is the aspect that you probably like the most, right? You can format all of this to do your pink, purple, orange, and make things just beautiful. I'm not the best person, so I'll probably be using the very wrong colors, right? But let me show you how to do that. You see, there's something here under the visualization called format, right? It shows it has like a paintbrush, right? So if you go there, ensure that your mouse is on the chart. How do you ensure? Your chart has this rectangular layer showing on it, because that's the only way whatever formatting you are doing will affect it. So now in my own case, I can see, for example, if your own is like this, you can see that the rectangular layer is not showing. Just click on it and ensure that the rectangular layer is showing, and then go to format your visual. When you come here, so many things you can do. So many things you can do. Number one, if you want to show data labels, for example, it's until you hover your mouse around on the line that you will see the sum of amounts, blah, blah, blah. If you want it to automatically be showing the figure, there's something called data label here. Just switch it on. If you come all the way down, you see data label is by default always off. If you switch it on, it will tell you. So you can see the story is easy to tell now that, oh, okay, it is 3.8 million. Oh, it is 3.5 million. Oh, it is this, it is that. Right? That's one. If you then want to put colors to the background, so for example, if you don't like this blue line color, if you want to change it to this, you just drop down this line, you go all the way, you see color. Again, like I said, anything you want to do on this line, you click on it, line, you see color, you then see that it is blue, you can pick any one of choice. So I can make it a deeper blue if I like. if you like it. This, your joint type, if you want it thicker in terms of width, you can increase things so that it is thicker. This is where, just go through it, and once you click on something, for example, I always call it spoil. If you spoil anything, our Control Z and Control Y works here. I mean, you can undo. The same thing here on the top left. You can undo whatever step you do. You can say, I clicked on undo to undo the last action. So don't be afraid to do anything. In as much that you've not saved, even if you save it, you can still undo. In as much you've not closed this software. So just feel free to play around, but don't play around too much on this call so that you can follow through the next thing I say. Anyone on this page, has anyone been able to do this? Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Kelechi. All right, couple people. Now, if you want to put a background on this chart, like you want to put a background on this chart, what do? You go to General. So here is where you do, thank you, Besolami. Thank you. Here is where you do effects of color, putting things together. So for example, this title is saying sum of amounts by date. It's not well titled. So if you want to do that, you just drop down the title and then you put it here. What should we give the title? Revenue by date, something like that. Revenue by date is showing to the left. If you want it to be in the middle, you bring it to the middle. If you want the title to have a background of its own, you go to where we have the background color, you pick background of choice, you can make it bold, you can increase this, whatever you want to do. This is where you do it. Just for the title. The entire background of the chart, everything that has to do with color, background, and all, it is under general, and you go to effects. You see, background of the chart, you can pick this. Again, please don't shoot me. Anything color, just leave me out, right? So I probably will not pick the color that you like. So, but that's the idea. Do anything here. If you want to put a visual border on by the layer of it, you put this on. If you want to put a shadow, you put it on. Just feel free to do anything. In my case, I am fine with this. And then that's it. That's not why we're here. But again, the more visually appealing a chart or an analysis is, the more you would get people to come check and use your charts or analyze or make informed decision from the analysis. So it's highly important that you present it, at least even if not by color, put them in a layer where people can easily just, don't make it too bulky. It shouldn't be too busy, straight to the point, and people can make insights from it. Is this clear? Or anyone on this page? Has anyone been able to do this so far? Fantastic. Fantastic. Good one. Now, let me now show you the power in the name Power BI. All of these that we've done, we could have done it with this AI-driven functionality that comes with this tool. What do I mean? A lot of people have been talking about branch by. We talked about different other insights that we can get. So the next insight that we'll get, we will not do it the way we've done this one. We will do it as if we want to ask a question about the data that we have, and then Power BI will generate insight for us. How do we do that? When I say white canvas, I mean on this area of chart, double click on any of the white canvas, anywhere of choice. So you can come down, you can come up, just double click. Double click on it. It's going to do something like preparing Q&A for you. Anyone able to do this? Just double click on any of the white canvas. There's a little pane that says, ask a question about your data. And you click on that. What do we want to say? Branch by amount. Just make sure you say the things just by the name that they have on the table data sets. Branch by amount. Once you click on it, automatically builds a chart for you. Anyone here? So this is, give me quick results for branch by total amount. It's going to give you this chart. If you don't like it, you delete it. I like it. What do? You see this little button in front of the chart. It says, turn the result of my Q&A into a standard visual. Once you click on it, it appears on my chart, and then I can move it around any way of choice. I'll delete it and do it one more time. Double click anywhere on the white canvas, ask a question about your data, and say branch by amount. It goes to think about it, and then you have something like this. If you like it, you see here, and then you do turn the Q&A result into standard visual. Exciting? So we can see clearly that Texas is our best branch. So anyone here? Have we been able to do it? Good. I mean, instead of you then going to formats to do the same visuals that I've done, blah, blah, blah here, you can click on the old one. You can use the formatting of the old chart on the new chart. What do I mean? The title, having gray background and bold and then this and whatnot, you can do the same thing you've done there without having to go there and be doing one after the other. How do you do it? You know the way we do Format Painter on Microsoft Word, where you click on a particular, the one that you like, go to Format Painter, it copies the format of that and apply it on the second one. So let's do that. Click on the first one, click on Format Painter, it will give you this paint brush, and then apply it on this guy. It's coming together, right? I will undo and do it one more time. This is white. It doesn't have the background. I can't see the figure, but I know that I like this one that I have done. Click on it. Let it show the rectangular layer around it. There's a format layer underneath home. Click on it. It gives you a paint brush. Take the paintbrush to the second one and just click on the second one. It's going to apply it. Anyone able to do this? Thank you, Shitu. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, Anuche. Anyways, without wasting so much time, we will just do two more. I show you one more functionality and then we continue. We'll call it a day. You can adjust the layers to have the same length. What other thing did we say we would do? Let's check the pizza sold by amount. Do the same thing. Double click on the white canvas and do pizza sold by amount, right? Click on it. It's going to show you this. If you don't like this chart, you can change it to anything of choice. So there's a chart called tree map. So even after you pin it, you can change this guy to this chart here called tree map, something like this. Let me do it one more time. Double click. So again, you can even do everything directly from there. What is a tree map? TREEMAP is a type of chart that shows analysis of data in boxes. So the bigger it is, it gives you different color. The bigger it is, the more of that thing that you're trying to analyze. So how do you do that? Double click on this. Even from your Q&A, you can tell Power BI to give you the results in that type of chart. So how do you do that? You type pizza sold by amount by tree map, something like that. If you do this, it's going to do pizza sold by amount by tree map for you. And you see, you turn the equation into standard visual. Right? And if I were you, I would do the same Format Painter thing like we did, which is click on the one you like, format it, and then put it here. That didn't do the magic. It means I didn't do something right. Anyone here? Okay, one more chart and then we are done with building charts. We said we'll do, what's that called? We've done branch, we've done day, we've done pizza sold. Let's just do time range. How many of these did we do before 9? And how many of these did we sell after 9? I love it when I see 2. It means it's super clear. Or is 1, does 2 mean 0? Anyways, I want to believe it's mine is following. Anyway, double click again and do 2 means no. All right. We can type what the issue is and then we'll pick it. Didn't get the tree map. So the tree map, just so you want, just look at my screen. I'll take it one more time. Double click on the white screen and then just type pizza sold. Pizza sold is the name of the column that has the products, right? Pizza sold by amount. Once you do that, it will probably give you the same chart like the old one. But I now said say by tree map. So you type pizza sold by amount by tree map. This one. Put it in the chat so you see. That's what you put in Q&A. You get it. All right. So once you do that, but I said in this next one, that's not what we are doing. We want to do time range. Time range by amount by 5 or donut. There's a chart called donut. Is this one here? This one. So what would this do? It's going to give you the total sales we made before 9 versus the total sales we made after 9. So clearly, with the legend, before 9 did slightly, very slightly higher than the one after 9. Do we understand what we are doing? Even if you are not following through, please. Again, during the class, everyone must follow through. Fantastic. And then we can apply this Command Painter into this. That brings us to the end of the chart, right? But that is not the end of what we are doing. So there's this functionality that says, sometimes the end clients might not be so interested or fascinated with the beautiful colors that we are seeing. You just want to know, am I doing better or not? Just give me a straight answer. Are we going up or down? Summarize what the data is saying to me. So there's a functionality whereby after you've built the chart and you still have a lazy end user, you can then go to Insert and click on Narrative. This only works after you've built a chart. So Power BI will then help you narrate it in natural language. So you click on Narrative and Custom. So it's just another artificial intelligence-driven functionality that goes on the page, the report that you've built, and then give it to you in English like this. So you can actually copy this like this. You copy the text and send it as an email to them. What's the text saying? Sum of amounts. We know what sum of amounts means. Is revenue. If you want this to be reading revenue, name your columns properly. So what this is saying is revenue trended down, resulting into a 10.9 decrease between Thursday, December 3, which is the first day of the data that we have, and then Tuesday, December 15, which is the last day of the data that we have. So from the first day we started generating revenue to the last day, revenue had trended down by 10%. Isn't this lovely? It's also saying that the revenue is trending down from December 5th, and it fell a drastic 12% in 10 days consistently. It's also saying the revenue dropped by this decline this within the date. It's talking about Texas being the highest revenue generating period, higher than Arizona, which is its lowest, right? And it's telling us the figure. Click on custom, not this, not the one that says preview. Copilot. It's custom that you pick, Shanice. And it's saying Texas or being the largest is accounting to about 21% of the total revenue. Across all of the 5 branches, the revenue is ranging between 8.9 million to 9.83 million. So this alone, without even a chart, you can get the insight out at the end of the report. So clear? Of course, like I said, you don't necessarily have to put this. In some cases, you can even add it as a visual on its own and put it by the corner. So the same thing that we do everywhere, you can just create you can create a title here. You can just create something here, maybe create like to make it beautiful. I don't know. You can, whatever it is, you can use a style, add a text box. Feel free to call it pizza revenue. Just insert the same thing that we do on Microsoft Word. You can do things here like that. Move it up a bit. You can move it on it, you know. You don't necessarily have to do all of this. I'm just showing you what is doable. And then you can put any logo of choice. I'm going to put TriTech Academy logo. Everything I've done, you can do them from inserts. That's it. Could you please show how you got the insight again? You go to inserts and you do narrative. So everything I've done in the last 2 minutes has been from insert. The logo from insert, you see its image. The shape, which is the big blue underneath, is the shapes here. The title is text box. The English that I did is narrative. So once I click on narrative here, it will say choose a narrative type. Don't choose the one with the green. Click on custom. It's going to do that for you. Good. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the demo. In the chatbot, how did you find this? Ones and zeros as well, or you can even write it in words. Simon says 1, Marcus 1, Cecilia says 1. That is good, fantastic. Again, like I said, this is not the way we train. I promise you. You all, in fact, before you start the training, we have like a environment setup session where we show you how to build how to install all of this. Everyone must have the tool before we do the training. On the day of training, we don't go this quick. We make sure that everyone follows through step by step. This is just a taster session, trust me. And then I can take you back to the I have just a few more slides and then I'll pass it back to my colleague. Okay. All right. Yes, the roadmap, like I explained, the first stage after today is you get access to the training materials for the entire training period. Sometimes this week, Thursday or Friday evening, we do environment setup, and then we introduce you to the platform, the tool, the things that you need for each day. And then from there, you do your first training in SQL because you need to know how to even put this data together before you start to visualize them. And then the next training, we'll do the business intelligence in Power BI. And then the next one is we do the Python for data analysis. Again, caveat, Python for data analysis. The interesting part that you probably even see, of course, a lot of people have been talking about project from other competitors, but this is purely what we call capstone projects. So I call it, if you've done stages 1 to 5 very well, 6 is where you validate your knowledge. So we'll introduce you to a platform where you do not just projects, it's what we call a capstone project that gives you the ability to have virtual internship. You practicalize what you've done and then verify it amongst what other people are doing, worldwide recognized platform that you can even put on your CV and your LinkedIn. What I always say to people is, if you do these stages really, really well, it gives you a talking point for interview, especially for people who are just coming into this field. If you do it really, really well, there's a way you present your case as if you've been working on this, on data analysis for years. And then lastly, you get certificate of completion. Stage 6 will give you certificate, which is the platform that you do your capstone project. And stage 7 is the certificate of completion from TriTech. Road to success. You need to put some commitment and hard work. Commitment and hard work doesn't stop at you coming to the class. In fact, in many cases, we've seen some people very, very busy, not even able to join all of the classes, but they give that 1 hour per week before going to bed, 2 hours per week to continue to learn. Because the timing is not always perfect. Openness to learn, you have to be very, very willing to learn. And no matter what people say, like I said, I'm not joking when I say my grandma can learn SQL. Try to attend all meetings. I've already explained this in the first bullet. Not everyone has been able to achieve the 90% attendance or whatnot, but once you have the commitment and the willingness to learn, you can go back to it and pick all of this. We'll put you in support groups. Your involvement in the support groups, even outside of the class hours. We know there are many, many groups that we created many years ago, even after their training. They're still supporting themselves from project work. Some people bring it into the group to say, this is what I'm facing at work. And then you get support group. You get access to us, not just today, not just even during the training, forever and ever, you have access to us. No certificate until assessment and projects are done. What do I mean? You have to finish your capstone project, because at the end of the day, we give recommendations, we give letters to potential employers, and we want to be able to show that you actually did all of these things. So that project or internship completion verifies that, yes, not that we just taught you, you know it by verifying this from another platform, and then we give you this. Yes, me at least 8 gig RAM Windows laptop would be great. Basic requirements, attention to details. This, again, I will test this after this next 2 slides. If you guys are being very attentive. Communication skills. Communication skills is not the big grammar. No, I mean, basic verbal and written communication skill, because you'll be communicating with stakeholder. Communication doesn't necessarily mean you have to even be presenting your case, but at least the ability to communicate the insight that you find out. I'm not looking for high proficiency in typing, but you will type your code, you will type your this, as you can see, type title of report and all of that. So basic proficiency in typing. You need to know some basic knowledge of computer usage. So for example, if I'm troubleshooting, if you are not following through and you have an issue and I'm telling you to share your screen and I tell you to look for where you save your data, you'll be shocked that some people don't know how to go to their folders. So basic computer usage, we can guide you with some links to brush you up, and accuracy and attention to details. How long is your training? 6 weeks. I'm going to show the timetable in the next slide. I have no experience. What requirements do I need? Exactly what I've said before now. Attention to details, willingness to learn, and all of those interesting things. Can I only join one session? It is not advisable. Yes, you can join it if you are willing to learn, if you are open to it, and then you're dedicated. Going back to what has been taught at your free time. I work full-time, I have flexibility program. This is just Saturdays, full day Saturdays for 6 weeks. How long are your class sessions? 11 to 5, like I said. I would share the training timetable, and this will be sent to your email as well. Do you offer certification? Yes, certificate of completion. This is what the timetable looks like. I'm sure some of you will be wondering, why do we have the red font on the last 2? Just so we are clear, I think the 19th, not 29th, the 19th of April, again, I'm just spotting the error. The 19th of April is Easter weekend. So instead of doing, definitely we won't take training that weekend. So instead of doing 12 and 19, maybe we take a pause after the Power BI. After the Easter, we then do the 2 back-to-back, because we don't want to have a break between Python day 1 and Python day 2. So maybe after the 5th, we then wait till after Easter to complete the 2. But again, like I said, we've not concluded that. That's why I've just given this tentative day for Python. But for the SQL and Power BI, to go ahead as planned. Is this clear, please? Do you understand what I've just said? 19th of April is Easter weekend. So we are not, we probably, because we know a lot of people would be sort of doing, having that festive period with the family. So we don't want to come in between families. We probably would just break that from Power BI after the Easter, we'll then complete the last two. Okay, last slide. Why do you then need to join? Proven methodologies, I've explained this before. What do I mean by that? We are not just testing the waters. We've been here for many years. And a lot of people have been here. Of course, we give references and you can verify us. We are not just this, we are doers. Track records, going back to what I've said before, you can check us out and see what people are saying about us. You'd see the interesting success story from the past participant. Learning environment is very supportive. We put you on WhatsApp group, put you on support groups, and again during and after your training. Expert instructors, I explained before. We are not just learners, or trainers, people who train to be able to come to the class to train you. We are active consultants in the space. So we bring both industry knowledge into the classroom. And some project and internship. I explained we have the Capstone project and that platform, interesting platform that explodes you to the world. Career and networking opportunity. We have many events that we do, that you even meet people one-on-one, and continuous learning resources. As things have been evolving, we share with you. So thank you. Again, your time is now. There's no better time to make the decision than now. And I hope that was interesting. But before we go, I put something together to verify if you actually got some of these things, not just the training, even the soft part of it. 5 quick questions. So let us do this together. So questions is an MCQ. By MCQ, I'm saying questions with options. So if your answer is the first one, you just put A. If it is the fourth one, you put D. So let's go through this together. What are some basic skills required to succeed in data analytics? I'm sure I put this in the. A lot of you have said C, so I would go with C. What insights did we derive from analyzing the pizza company sales? Is the C still for the next one? Okay, a lot of you are saying C again. I'll go for the C. What is the difference between data analysis and hold on, I'm not sure a lot of you are seeing this really well. What is the difference between data analysis and data analytics? I'm seeing a lot of C. And I'm seeing some D. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of B. Now I'm seeing C. So let's do CD. I like field. Okay. Again, ignore what you've typed before. Let me ask one more time so that okay, more C now. More C than D. Organizing data. Why data involve using data to make decision? More D. Focus on visualizing data, why data and focus on interpreting data. So I'm seeing C, more C than D. But we would see the answer. In the practical session, what type of data did we analyze from the pizza? Customer feedback surveys, sales data, including dates. Social media, performance. All of you are picking B. Interesting. How does Power BI facilitate data analysis and visualization? By providing tools for importing, cleaning, by limiting data sources, all of you have done A, so I'll go with A. So let's see. I'm going to submit this, and then we'll view the scores. It should be, it's a quick assessment to verify what you've been taught today. And again, like I said before, attention to details is really key, very key. This has shown that You guys were attentive. 100 over 100, in case you are wondering how did you get that, total point is 100. So we sabi book small. No be small, very well. So welcome again. I'll be looking forward to have you guys join the training. I hope you found that interesting. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Thank you, Mr. Aziz. How was the session, everyone? How was the session? Thank you so much for that presentation, for the session. That was amazing. That was fantastic. Yes, Yusuf, I agree. How was the session? Wow. Good confidence boost, absolutely. And great student participation. So yeah, a big well done to you all as well. Very informative. Absolutely great. Fortunate said that. Oh wow, catchy, perfect. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, so this is it. And Mr. Aziz Busari, don't worry, he'll be training you. So yeah, we don't want to give you all out. So once you enroll with us, then yes, you have access to, further access to Mr. Aziz. All right, we'll be sharing that shortly at Lola. Yeah, we'll be sharing the price. Very interesting. Thank you so much, Joshua. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is it. For today and everything that you've gone through with Mr. Aziz, we have data, business analytics, data science, SQL, business intelligence, big data, and Power BI. So all these inclusive, all these added to what you've been shown today. The fee is $850. However, how do you think? How does that sound? £850? £850. Put in the chat so we can know. Let's see, how does that look? Tinola, you serious? Dayo and yeah. No, but for everything you've seen and what you've done, trust me, when you join the training is much more, than this. Oh, okay. So next slide, please. Let's see. Oh, scary. Don't be scared. So now, drum rolling. Are we ready for a discount now? For the discount? Okay, all right. A lot. Okay, all right then. So let's go to the next slide. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, so if you sign up today before I go to the discount, you'll be getting a free additional course in Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. That will be a free course for you if you sign up today. So for the first 20 people that sign up today, you'll be getting this for free. So aside your data analysis training with us, this is going to come as a free package for you. So please bear that in mind. You're also getting a free course in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So now let's go to what the fee is. Okay, you don't want 850 before we move. How much? What do you think we should? We should be? Tell me. You can pay 5 times. No way. 500. Okay, 500. Wow. Oh wow. No, I can see Naira. Okay. Wow, Tinola. Catherine. Okay, 450. Samuel. It's my I can see a lot of 400. I can see a lot of 500. The 500 one, seriously, yeah. You're getting serious and a big quality for this. 600 with payment terms. Okay. All right. Oh, this is amazing. No, Kachi. Wow. Kachi, I'm going to pin your name down. You're going even lower than everyone. All right. So let's see. What it is. Yay. And here is the fee. So for new candidate, it's going to be going for 450 with all everything you've seen today with the free additional course and everything that the trainer has gone through with you. And for existing candidates, it would be £400. So when I mean existing candidates, it means you've done like a course with us before and in TriTech. So if you've done a course with us before, so you are entitled to that 400. And yes, to be honest, this is not our normal fee, but we're giving you this because it's our 8 years anniversary in TriTech Academy. So yes, and 450 for new candidates and 400 for existing candidates. Yes. So, no problem at all. So just to you can spread the cost, and that's why we've come to this now. So we've got installments as well. For installment is £500, and you can pay in Klarna. You can pay part of it just to secure this. Then you balance up in 4 weeks. But the thing is, you can speak to the sales representatives. Just text payment to Esther and Adijoke, and installment to Kenny also. So what you want, if it's full payment, let them know. So just identify the one you want to do now. But yeah, why not? If not, don't stop yourself. No one is stopping you. You are the one that can stop yourself. So yes, for 500, you can spread the cost. Wait, is this registry separate cost? And I didn't get that. So I'm going to say, yeah. Yeah, so well, for 500, you can spread the cost. Oh, yes, absolutely. So you're entitled to the existing candidates. Yes. So 500 is Klarna, you can spread it like 3 times. And I know with ClearPay, spread it like 6 times. So you don't pay for existing student. Yes, you can, but speak to the sales representatives. Send a text message with payment and with the fee. Then you speak to them for what you want, the plan you want to go for. Also, you can do direct debits because for Klarna and ClearPay, some I think they are kind of restricted. So if it's restricted, you will pay an upfront payment, and then you'll be advised on when you balance, but you have to sign a direct debit. So you can take advantage of it. It's 20 sports that we've got. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Unfortunately, please, yes. Okay, what we can do is, we can send that recording to you via email, but we have a limited spot and it goes back up. This is not our usual fee. And for Nigeria, please text Anita for Naira payment. So for everyone in Nigeria, you are not on the the pound side, then you can just text payment to Anita. Or for any other payments, maybe you need to sort out any payment thing, you can text kindly email payment@tritechacademy.co.uk. I would advise that you screenshot this page, the payments page, so that would help. And I saw that you're India. With India, we can sort a link for you. So please text one of those numbers, and they will advise on what to do. All right, so what I'm going to advise now, while you're trying to message those numbers, please drop your numbers in the chat and we can pick it from there. So if